If you have a joint paper, like with your advisor, honors advisor, or something of that nature, presumably that person's also going to write a letter of recommendation, and if he or she can say, hopefully you had the seminal ideas, you did most of the work on this paper or whatever, to make it clear if it was a joint authored paper, what your contribution was.
Okay.
Do not stop at one REU. Typically, the students do several of them. I've seen even 4 of them, together with other activities. So try to be as proactive as possible since a very early stage in your studies. Otherwise, it's going to be more difficult to compete. The level of this application is staggering. These are the people that are going to make the future impact in the United States. And so pay a lot of attention and a lot of effort in writing down your application. Don't be discouraged by this. It should push you to greater challenge, to greater proficiency in that.
So instead of one poster, do 2 or 3. You have several opportunities at the university to do so. Instead of one conference, more than a conference, always be proactive and be involved in those publications. It's not difficult, believe me, but you have to put your mind into it.
We will be sending out a message in March about Inquiry Magazine, so that there's an opportunity for you to...
Exactly. It's a university undergraduate journal for undergraduates, so you're competing with the undergraduates, so it's not like... It is very possible to publish in the Inquiry. Okay? Yes?
You said disease-related research isn't supported. Does that include like biomedical engineering, like
No.
delivery?
No, biomedical engineering is engineering.
That was the panel I was on, the biomedical
He's a
mechanical engineer. But,
Yeah.
so yeah, as long as there's an engineering connection. But yeah, they're all after curing cancer. Every paper starts out the same way. But we read so many of these things, but they all start out, when I was a little kid, somebody got sick. Sometimes it's just a sports injury, and that gets you off and running to wanting to make this world better so people can live longer and this and that. Nothing wrong with that. But there's, a ton of things that direction. But it can't be, it's got to be on the angle of the engineering side more than what would be more of a medical. That may be a fine line.
It can't be anything related to clinical. It can't be this. So
If you're proposing to do human clinical trials,
that's a no. So,
but animal research,
and if you don't know, just if you go online on NSF, there is an email for help. Ask any question you want. And actually, there is a question and answer over there. Lots of similar questions, and then you can get if you have doubts about your discipline. You can ask any one of us. You can ask at the NSF themselves by email. But don't let this, discourage you. Okay? Any other questions about the intellectual merits? Okay, so here is the slide that tells most of application. This is a nightmare of the students because they don't know what is this broader impact. So think about it this way. This money comes from a federal agency. It's my tax money, your parents' tax money, their tax money. So it's my taxes. I pay taxes. Everybody pays taxes, and then you will get this money. So what is there for me as a citizen? I want you to see you. I give you this money. You will impact this society. Impact this very narrow society around you. The students. In this university, the city of Fayetteville, the Arkansas, the United States, and then the whole world. We would like to see this. And this has to be very clear from your application. That's a broader impact. That's why it's broader. It's not, if we remove this slide, then we can have a student, 4.0, he will be an excellent graduate student. He can go to MIT or Stanford. He will be top-notch scientist, but he will never impact anybody else except himself. That's not the objective of this. This is the objective of grad school. But for National Science Foundation, we must see from your application that you will impact the whole society. Everything. It's not about you. We would like to see that you become a leader in this world. You are our future leader. That's why President Obama, this become his priority, because this money will go to young generation like you. You guys will become the leadership of the future. That's why. But if you take this money and just impact yourself, that's not NSF goal. So here is a broader impact. What is that broader impact? Number one, integrate research and education. Somewhere in your application, we would like to see you thinking as education and research is not like by itself. Research and education is one thing. So you have to integrate both of them somehow. For example, you are working in somebody's lab, you understand the physics of quantum dots, and then in one of the classes, students they study in quantum dots, and because you study those, you understand them very well, you tutor the other students. So you're taking the research to the education goal. So when you tutor, either you get paid or you don't get paid, it doesn't matter, but at least you're thinking about educating others. You volunteer in middle school or high school and explain science to those students or to the teacher. You are impacting the education of others. So that's so it is. You will be a researcher, but in the same time you will be an educator somewhere. Funding and at all levels, infuse learning with the excitement of discovery. You must see you very excited about your research, about your role in this world. When you get this scholarship, you will see excited person. You will infuse it learning about among others. And assure that the findings and methods of research are communicated in a broad context and to a large audience. It's not about you. That's the whole point. It's not about you. It's about the society. You get something. You did something good. You translate it to the others. Explain it to others. Share it with others. Have journal paper. That's why journal paper are important, because once you put your results in a journal paper, it becomes public to everybody, so everyone can use it. So that's a sharing, that's communication with others. Encourage diversity. Now this diversity word sometimes is confusing. Diversity doesn't mean like diversity like male, female. Diversity means anything that different from your background. So we have diversity in backgrounds, like scientific background. We have engineering, you have chemistry, you have science, you have all those other disciplines. That's a diversity in background. So let us talk about this. Broaden opportunities. You have an opportunity, you go somewhere, you share it with somebody, you bring somebody to your research. Yes, you are at young age, you didn't do any of those, but I'm sure you did some of those. And the problem with the students, which I had it with one of my students last year when he was applying, you do all those, but you don't know that you are doing it. So we'll see more details about this. Enable participation of all citizens. Women, that's now here, the women comes to the picture. Women, men, underrepresented minorities. They are underrepresented minorities because they don't have many people in their surroundings to help them. So you got this opportunity, help others, help those who do not have this chance like you. And persons with disabilities in science, you don't have to show everything, but you have to show lots of those. So when I look at your application, I say, okay, this guy is sharing with everybody. He will be a good citizen in the society, and so on. Now, when you end everything, can you see this one? Benefit society. Again, give you the money, the society has to benefit from this. For example, last time I think I read somebody said when he do research in X-ray something, the university will have a good lab or something like that. Is this impacting the society? The society, the whole world, right? For another example, someone doing partial differential equation, in math, because there are some disciplines like engineering, you can see immediately the application. That's benefit society, cleaning water, cleaning air, biomedical engineering, that's the society immediately easy to see.